it is very dangerous to leave when you are being looked for and persecuted and accused, as I have been, as thousands of other Venezuelans right now, but it's certainly worthwhile because I think that this is a moment that it's a turning point in our history.
After nearly a year in hiding, Venezuela's opposition leader, María Corina Machado, arrived in Oslo in the middle of the night on the 11th of December to collect her Nobel Peace Prize. Machado waved to cheering supporters who had gathered outside the city's Grand Hotel and later joined them on the street. It was the first time that Machado had been seen in public since January this year, when she was briefly detained at an anti-government protest. Machado had left Venezuela in defiance of a decade-long travel ban imposed by authorities in her home country. But how did she make it to Oslo? According to the Wall Street Journal, Machado's allies had for months been quietly planning how to get her out in time for the December ceremony in Oslo. The result was a daring escape involving disguises, driving in the dead of the night, a pre-dawn sea crossing, and a private jet. Machado's journey began on the 8th of December from a suburb in Caracas, where she had been hiding for nearly a year. Wearing a wig and travelling in disguise, she set off by road with two of her trusted companions to a small coastal fishing village. The route passed through 10 military checkpoints. At each stop, she risked being discovered and detained. After about 10 stressful hours on the road, they reached the coast around midnight. Machado rested briefly, but at dawn, the group boarded a small wooden fishing skiff and were in the middle of the Caribbean. Strong winds and rough seas made the crossing to Curaçao slow and treacherous. But the real danger was not only the sea. In recent months, more than 20 small boats in the region had been destroyed in US strikes on suspected drug traffickers, leaving more than 80 people dead. The network behind Machado's escape reportedly made direct contact with the US military, alerting them about the boat's identity and the route to avoid any confusion with an alleged drug smuggling vessel.
Certainly the regime would have done everything to prevent me from coming. They did not know where I was in hiding in Venezuela, so it was hard for them to stop me. It was rude, nonetheless. And yes, we did get support from the United States government.
Machado's skiff reached Curaçao by midday on the 9th of December. On the island, she met a private contractor who specializes in extractions. According to the Wall Street Journal report, this person had the backing and logistical help connected with the Trump administration. An exhausted Machado checked into a hotel to rest while the final leg of her journey was being prepared. At sunrise on the 10th of December, an executive Embraer jet was waiting for her on the tarmac at Curaçao. The plane took off, stopped at Bangor in Maine for refueling and border formalities, and then continued to Norway. Machado landed in Oslo on the evening of December 10th, just as guests were gathering for the Nobel ceremony. For hours, even the Norwegian Nobel Institute could not say where she was or whether she would appear in person to collect her award. In the end, her daughter Ana Corina Sosa accepted the prize on her behalf. Later that night, Machado stepped onto the balcony of Oslo's Grand Hotel, waving to a crowd of Venezuelan exiles and supporters who sang the national anthem and called her brave. Leaving the country carries obvious risks for Machado, who had built her appeal on confronting Venezuelan leader Nicolás Maduro. She had already dedicated her Nobel Peace Prize to US President Donald Trump, who is threatening to invade Venezuela and overthrow Maduro's regime. Machado is now likely to lobby governments in Washington and Europe on the need for a regime change in Venezuela. But she insists that she will return to her country with her Nobel Prize.
Mi deber era venir a recoger este premio para llevarlo de vuelta a los venezolanos. Y pronto estaré de vuelta en Venezuela Y sé que muy pronto ustedes también. Ustedes también. Y vamos a demostrarle al mundo que no solamente nos merecemos este premio, sino que realmente esta generación entera pasará a la historia de la humanidad.
For now, María Machado will use her newfound global profile to keep the focus on Venezuela's crisis and to test just how far the Nobel spotlight can reach into Caracas.
Been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the they're doing.